This is your ultimate stop for everything sports. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Should I say more? From the NFL, MLB, the NBA to MMA, it's all in here. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Listen now.
Welcome everyone to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Pauline.
And I'm Anthony.
And he's Anthony. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today because I have to, just get something off my chest later. Mm-hmm. Sort of, kind of, sort of. I don't know. We'll get into that later. So anyway, we're going to first start off with discussing college basketball, of course. So we are here in the thick of March Madness. It's the Sweet 16, and we're actually having some more games played nearby here in San Jose, as well as on the women's side, we have some ball being played in Stockton. And I don't know why, I was talking about this on the basketball podcast earlier today, but I don't know why I totally forgot that they were playing games so close this weekend also.
So you talking like the men and women, or what are you talking about?
No, well, because last weekend I went to the Golden One Center to watch the games.
Right.
And I was waiting for that, and I was highly anticipating, and I was excited, and we've been talking about it, and it's been on my mind. But the fact that they are playing games in San Jose and in Stockton, I didn't even really realize that till earlier this week.
Right.
So I didn't take any time off from work, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself. I was saying in the basketball podcast that I'm still contemplating tonight, just being calling in sick. But then I have been taking a lot of time off for basketball lately. So
sure.
It's I don't know how much more my boss is going to be like, oh, it's fine. It's basketball. Oh, it's fine. Because she knows
right.
that, ball is life. And so, but I don't know if she's going to be okay with me calling her after this show and be like, so by the way, I'm not coming.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I don't know. But then I was saying, look, there's tickets for starting at $84 for tonight's games. I could still make it. It's still doable. I'm really contemplating. But then I might not have a job tomorrow.
That's also, yeah.
That's kind of crucial. But then that means I can also go to the women's basketball games on Saturday.
I mean, yes. Also yes.
Always half full. Anyway, so tonight, the matchups for tonight, we have in Kansas City, Missouri, we have number 7, Michigan, and number 3, Oregon, facing off today. I don't know why that was so weird for me to say. And then following that at 4:39, here in San Jose, we have number 4, West Virginia taking on number 1, Gonzaga. I kind of want to watch that game. I want to watch that game live. See what I'm saying? And then we have number 4, Purdue taking on number 1, Kansas, another game that I'm really interested in. That is going to be taking place, however, in Kansas City, Missouri. And then to wrap up the evening of basketball today, number 11, Xavier, is taking on number 2, Arizona, here in San Jose, California. So some fun games close by. Tomorrow night, we also have some more college basketball taking place. We have the South region playing in Memphis, Tennessee. They have number 4, Butler, taking on number 1, North Carolina. Then right after that, they're going to jump over to the Madison Square Garden, and it's going to be number 7, South Carolina, taking on number 3, Baylor. And then jumping back over to Memphis, Tennessee, we have number 3, UCLA, taking on number 2, Kentucky. So I'm kind of going for UCLA right now, just because they're kind of like the home team.
Sure. Okay.
California.
More or less. Or Oregon. Even though it's a different state, it's probably closer.
Well, the only reason why I can't go for Oregon, it's kind of petty, but like this guy that I used to work with, back when I was working for the athletics department, in college, he's from Oregon, and I always had to do everything opposite of him. Everything we did was always opposite, no matter what it was. So, and he graduated from Oregon, so he's definitely going for Oregon. So I definitely can't go for Oregon as a home team. Has to be UCLA.
Okay. This whole opposite thing. Is this in like a nice way, or do you like hate him with all of your heart?
No, no. We joke. Everything is just opposite because when we first met, like when we first started working together, we just were just like, that was just one of the things. Like he literally would just comment everything opposite of me. So it's just
I see. Okay, cool.
Joke, you know?
I didn't know if this is just like I want him to just like get hit by a car.
No,
I don't like it.
No.
Okay.
But I mean, if anybody's gonna be driving the golf cart that hits him, it's definitely gonna be me.
I see. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
No, but he's a lot of fun. I still talk to him a lot. So I was saying earlier that I need to give him, I need to text him later on today and see, because Oregon's men's and women's team are still fighting deep into the NCAA. So, you know, I'm excited for him. You know, no shame in his game. I'm wondering if he's gonna go watch some of these games because, you know, I would go, and I kind of wish I would have texted him earlier and been like, let's go together, just so I can root against you. Just any team that plays Oregon, I want them to win just because of my guy Dominique. But anyways, so moving on. So we have UCLA and Kentucky. You know, Ben's team is Kentucky, but he's actually calling UCLA in this matchup.
That's nice of him. I mean, that's
nice of him.
I mean, because I don't do this. Like, if I like the team, I'm gonna say they're gonna win. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. I was so
like,
surprised.
I'm not gonna be like.
He's like, I'm being realistic, but I'm like, bruh, your team is number 2.
Yeah, but realistic doesn't mean anything for college basketball. What I mean by that is like, you know, for the NBA, like you got 7 games. You're gonna figure out who the best team is. You can be like, okay, I really like the Thunder, but they're gonna get waxed by the Warriors or something like that. Like you can kind of see, okay, that's how that's gonna go. But for like college basketball, you're just like guessing whether or not one game someone's gonna play well or not. Like.
True.
You know, Lonzo Ball could lose his mind and have
Anything
like 20
happen.
points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds, or he could go like 1 of 10 and like they don't win the game. Like it's totally random.
It does happen. So Kentucky and UCLA, we'll see. So, and then to wrap up the evening of basketball tomorrow night, it's going to be number 8 Wisconsin and number 4 Florida in the East Side at the Madison Square Garden. So. Going to be a fun weekend of basketball as far as college basketball is concerned. Well, actually, even NBA. I'm actually going to be going on Saturday to watch high school basketball playoffs at the Golden One Center. So I got invited to go watch my little brother's, his best friend from like elementary school. They've stayed best friends.
Right.
You know, bros for life type thing. He's playing at the Golden One Center this weekend. So we're gonna go cheer him on, the Wood Creek Timberwolves. I don't know what round this is in high school basketball. I need to look that up because I know that they're deep as far as like for state. So
okay, I don't know.
I need to look this up because it's a team from right here in Sacramento. So I'm pretty excited just in general because that's always fun. We always think that it's gonna be like, you know, SoCal teams dominating the state, you know, as far as basketball is concerned in high school. So I'm pretty excited that it's a NorCal team. But anyways, so we're just going to cut it real quickly to a break. And when we come back, we'll discuss NBA. I want to talk about LeVar Ball. I know that we've been discussing him kind of like throughout this entire week, throughout this entire March Madness, and even before because, you know, his sons and stuff. Yeah,
because his son's trying to win a national title right now.
Yeah, basically.
In the middle of all this thing, and LeVar Ball's still just going everywhere, going to podcasts, going on like ESPN, going everywhere. Just like if you give him a microphone, he will speak into said microphone. He does not care how that microphone gets in his face as long as the microphone is in his face.
So we'll see. We will see what is on the plate with LeBron. Oh, excuse me. I was going to say LeVar Ball and LeBron James, but I'm getting kind of like tongue-tied a little bit. But anyways, because, you know, my guy LeBron stepped in to have some words with him, and we're going to tell you guys why. So, people out here, you are listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Pauline. He's Anthony. We'll be right back.
Do You want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do. All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. We have a little bit more to touch on with basketball, what's happening in the NBA, and then we're going to jump into some baseball because we have some great news with baseball as well. So we have a lot still to get into the rest of this episode. Who knows what else we'll find to talk about? You never know. A lot to discuss all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so from last night, we had quite a few matchups in, I almost said college basketball again. I meant to say in the NBA. College basketball is just on my mind. It's just been on my mind all month, and it's going to be on my mind all month till the very tip of April. So anyway, last night, the Charlotte Hornets went to go take on the Orlando Magic. They defeated the Magic in Orlando, 109 to 102. Kemba Walker was the main man. $50,000 for the Hornets last night. 22 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists for him to get the job done last night. The Indiana Pacers went to go face on the Boston Celtics. Could not do it on the road. No, no surprise for me there. I don't know. I just think that the Celtics have been doing really good at home.
I mean, yeah, they are really good, yeah.
25-9 at home, so, I was kind of like looking for that W for the Celtics. But anyway, so Paul George, the top performer of the evening for the Pacers. He had 37 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. But like we said, not enough to get it done. Al Horford, another guy that had a dad in the NBA, right?
You did?
Yeah, I think so. I think Al Horford did.
Okay.
We're going to talk about dads in the NBA soon in a little bit. It's on my mind. Or just great dads in general.
Right.
Great dads in general. So, but Big Al, he had 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. Just 2 shy in both categories of having triple-double. That would have been, I love it when guys get triple-doubles. I just think it's, I just think big guys should always get triple-doubles. I don't know. At least a double-double. That's just my opinion as far as big guys.
Just every time?
Big guys. Just
every single time.
Day out, I want 26 points, 11 rebounds, day in and day out. I'm sure all their coaches do, too. So then we have the Pistons and the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls won that one at home, 95 to 117. The 76ers went to Oklahoma City and lost by a lot, 97 to 122. Russell with his 35th triple-double with 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 14 assists. So, he's literally getting everybody involved, too.
I love him. And he went 6 for 6 from the field and perfect from the free throw line, which is he's
doing
there's a few things I still want for him because I'm thinking he doesn't even have to average a triple-double for the rest of the year. Like, he can have a game probably where he's like 10 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, something like that for a couple games. I want him to break Oscar Robertson's, not as doing the triple-double for the whole season, but I think he had 41
this is
in a season.
For the season. Yeah.
So he needs 7 more, and there's 11 games left. So I want that. I want 8 of your last 11 games to be a triple-double.
Right,
that's what I want.
Right.
And I also want them to get the 5th seed.
Mm-hmm.
So that way they can face the Jazz in the first round, and then in the second round face another team, be it the Warriors or Spurs or whoever ends up getting the number 1 seed.
Right.
That's what I want. I want Westbrook to just lose his mind.
Right. I know. Russell, we've been steady cheering you on, and you have steadily been giving us stuff to cheer about.
Oh, yeah.
He's been pretty consistent, for lack of a better word, this entire season. I'm pretty excited for him because, like you said, I want that for him, too.
Well, he needs – so there's a couple things still in reach for, the team, right? He can still average triple-double. Which is awesome.
Very doable.
Because I remember Mark Cuban coming out basically saying, like, he's not MVP because you got to win 50 games to be an MVP in his mind, right? So,
all right.
Which that's still a possibility. Basically, he'd have to go 9-2 over the last 11 games, which, fine. Win 5 games, lose a game. Win 4 games, lose a game kind of thing. That's
still very doable.
Yeah. That part's
unrealistic.
No, that's, pretty realistic enough. And he's 2.5 games out of the lead of the Northwest Division, which would make him the 4th seed. So there's still, with, again, like 11 games left to go. So still a few things that's, like, doable for the Thunder. Like, if they can win 50 games, get the 4th seed, and he averages a triple-double, like, because I want him to get the MVP, and, like, I feel like there's still, like, enough stuff for Harden or even LeBron or Kawhi or whatever to get it. So, like, I want all those things to line up so that way it's just like, okay, 50 games, won the division, did it without Durant, triple-double. Like, all these things, I want all of them to happen so that way there's kind of, like, little doubt that he actually does get the MVP.
No, yeah, I see what you're saying. So, Russell, this is probably the only time I've made a prediction where so far so good. Because when I was talking with Ben, I told him, I was like, I think he'll be able to get, or maybe I was talking with you. Well, we said on the show that I think that he will be able to average that triple-double the season.
He could, and there's only there's only 2 games left in the season for the 50 games that he could lose, which is at the Rockets, which is Sunday. And then at home against San Antonio. Outside of that, it's like Dallas and Orlando and Charlotte and Milwaukee and Memphis and stuff like that, like teams that he could actually beat.
Right, exactly. So this is
I say he could actually beat because it's him.
It's him.
Right. It's him just going like full steam ahead, just like all right, I got this.
Right. So, and then, on another note, too, with the 76ers, so Joel Embiid is going to be having his surgery on his knee.
Sure.
So we are going to see what the results are and, like, kind of like more of a timetable of how long it's going to be after surgery soon. So,
right.
Kind of like a heartbreaker there for me. I'm really sad for Joel Embiid. I really am, because he was definitely having a breakout season and doing very, very well. And it just,
he's still, like, in the range of just like, no, it's fine. Like, once he gets injured, once he gets fully healthy. Once he gets fully healthy, he could be a great player that gets, like, all-star nods, year in and year out. Like, he's still in that range. But if he basically comes out, like, next year for, like, the 4th straight year and it's just like, all right, he's injured again, then that's when we kind of, like, start to write him off as, like, all right, never mind.
Yeah. No, yeah, I know, and I don't want that to
happen. If he misses, call it, 50 games again next year, and he only plays, like, 30 games, that means he's played, like, 60 out of the 4 years, 328 or something like that? Like, at that point, like,
that's hard.
He might get better, but you're also kind of going down a Greg Oden path with that.
Yeah. So hopefully surgery is successful, not too much more than what they were expecting, and then he's able to come back, him and Ben, for the 76ers. I know that they're
and whoever they draft this year.
Praying hard for the health of that team. So anyway, then continuing on to the rest of the games last night, we had the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Wizards. They lost to the Wizards 100-104. Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards was a top performer with 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. The Cleveland Cavaliers, even though they were rested, I thought, still lost to the Denver Nuggets 113-126. Kyrie Irving, 33 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists for the failed attempt against the Nuggets last night for the Cavaliers. I don't know. How do you feel about this, Anthony? I don't think we've talked about that.
What, the resting?
The resting?
I mean,
you and
I don't care as much about resting. Like, is it a bad look when you rest, like, all your guys? Like, yeah, like, that's no good. And, like, the originator of this is Popovich, right? He's the one that basically decided, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even before that.
My guys are old. So
and that's the other thing. It was just like, okay, Duncan's 95 years old. Like, he needs to rest. Like, he needs to get his big boy naps in right now. So let's, you sit down. Parker, you too. Ginobili, yeah, you can sit too. Kawhi, you go. All of you.
Kawhi's like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kawhi's like.
Kawhi doesn't even say anything. He just, like, looks at him. He just, like, nods.
I'm fine.
He's like, do you want to play? And then he just goes in and plays. And then it's just like, okay, you lock down another guy. Right, and then he just goes in and plays. But, yeah, like, he's the one, like, Popovich is the one that started this whole thing, which made sense at the time because even if you didn't like the fact that they were sitting all their guys, they were still close in the games when they were playing their second and third stringers. Like,
right.
It's still oddly enough worked out where it's just like you were playing your second and third string guys and you were still really competitive, right? Like, you didn't like the fact if you were, a TV provider that, all the great guys weren't playing on the Spurs, but at the same time it was a good game, so you were like, whatever, like, how you take it or whatever. Thing is with the Cavs, when LeBron and Kyrie and Kevin Love are doing it, they are no good. If they don't play LeBron, they're no good. Like, Kyrie's good enough and Kevin Love's good enough, but like, without LeBron, the team is like kind of like an average team at best. Right. And now we're kind of going back to this whole thing of just like rest versus playing or whatever, and people always cite things like, oh, John Stockton played 82 games his whole career. Cool. And Bill Walton broke his knee basically right in the start of his career.
Yeah.
So, or broke his knee or his foot. I think it was foot. Like, he had, like, foot problems his entirety of his career. Like, some people are just better suited to, like, play a game than others. Like, Hakeem Olajuwon's one of the best, like, big men I've ever seen run the court. Also, you get things like Yao Ming, who had problems once he got in the league. Like, people are just built differently. Like, some people can withstand doing all these things like that. Like, you can't cite, like, one person's like, he played for a long time. Okay, well, he didn't. Like, it all depends on the, like, chemistry and biology of how you are wired. Like, I don't know, like, some people, like, like LeBron is like the most durable dude I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
like,
and some guys, like, just depending on, like you said, just your body.
Yeah.
Can just somehow, some way, just take so much more.
Like, LeBron for what now? Basically, like, 14 years. The longest period of time he's ever missed is the 2 weeks, I think, when he basically decided, all right, I'm just going to take a break and go to Miami. Like, that's legitimately the longest he's been out. Like, he, knock on wood, all that good stuff, has never had, like, a knee injury or a shoulder injury or whatever. Like, he's never had any of those things. So him basically now, when he's, 32 or whatever it is like that, at this, quote, like, advanced age in his career as far as NBA player, like, him saying, like, yeah, I kind of want to rest now. Like, it makes sense. Like, and then Kyrie's just kind of like, yeah, I'll do it too. And, like, if it helps the team, it helps the team. Like, that's, if they can win more games in June because they sit now, like, it's fine. Do that.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
But then I think that sometimes then you risk this happening, losing to the Nuggets.
Sure.
And then people...
But they also don't care about if they're the 1 seed or not. Like, they can be the, 5th seed or whatever, and if they got to go play on the road, they're like, okay.
Sure.
Like, I got to go play on the road in Atlanta? That's fine.
We'll see.
Nothing against Atlanta. I'm just saying,
right,
like...
yeah. No, I get it. That's how they're looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
So... Anyway, so moving on to the rest of the games. There was 2 more games last night. The Sacramento Kings, my Kings, lost to the Bucks.
That happens.
Last night at home, 116-98. And then the New York Knicks lost to the Utah Jazz last night, 101-108.
That happens too.
Anthony!
What? I got a buddy of mine who's a Knicks fan. I give him crap all the time. And then he comes back with the Kings. And I'm like, yeah, we both suck. All right, cool. Good talk. That's it. We just go back and forth. Your team's terrible. And so is yours. Yeah.
Yep.
There's nothing else we can do about it. Like, the Kings don't have a star player on the team by any stretch. And the Knicks have one, but he can't do anything because it's the Knicks. And it's like a cursed franchise. I mean, you won in the 70s. And then since then, you've had, like, some good players. Like, you've had, like, Bernard King and Patrick Ewing and Carmelo Anthony and Porzingis. But, like, you haven't won a lot.
Yeah, definitely not. So
you did well in the mid-'90s, but then that was kind of overshadowed by the fact that OJ was getting chased on the highway.
Hey, OJ might be released, dude.
It's true. Yeah, that's coming up.
October.
Like, he might actually,
October
I saw
this year.
I saw that, like, and the fact that, like, if that happens.
Of this year. I want a 30 for 30.
Again?
Another.
That thing was like 90 hours long.
That's fine.
You want another one?
I love 30 for 30.
No,
So I think every story deserves a 30 for 30.
No, 30 for 30 is the best documentary thing.
Yes.
Like, period.
But I want to hear about his. I want, like, locked up raw OJ.
You know what you want? You don't want, like.
He said, I'll tell you what you want.
Here's the thing. Like, what are you talking, like, you want him, like, interviewed while he's in prison or whatever?
Yeah, I want footage of OJ in prison.
No, that's not what you want.
Was he being treated like a king? Hey,
that's a good point.
That's what I'm wondering, because some people still only look at him as
as
athletic phenoms.
Right, which he was.
No, yeah.
Also other stuff. And
so That's what I'm wondering.
But the thing is, like, because I saw whether it was TMT or whoever, like, was reporting, quote unquote, this. Let's say he gets released in October. All right, let's say that happens.
Yep.
He's getting a reality show.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not.
That's gonna happen.
And it just so
happens. He is like 6 degrees.
Like what, year or two?
Right.
It's like a whole new resurgent of interest in him, and it just so happens that he could be getting out in October. Like, everybody's interested. I'm interested. I'm interested.
And he's also 6 degrees of separation from the Kardashian family.
So yeah.
So like that's gonna help his cause.
Our girl Chris. She always
don't say our
girl.
Don't say our girl.
A cash money bag.
Oh, she will absolutely.
One woman, excuse me, she's not a girl, but who can make any situation $105,000.
Yeah. No, she will absolutely be like, OJ, how you doing? Welcome back. Come here. Get in front of these cameras.
That's Ryan Seacrest on the low, because that's all Seacrest productions.
Oh, yeah. That's all, yeah.
So, on the low, Ryan Seacrest.
No, one more thing with that is, so yeah, she's never one to shy away from, the camera. The whole family isn't. But, there's a quote-unquote Kardashian curse, right? And it's kind of like a joking wink-wink curse, whatever. But it's the thing of just like, everybody that goes near them, they kind of fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
Lamar Odom, Kanye's gone insane, basically since then, which is hard to do considering he already was insane, but he's gotten more insane. Chris Humphrey was there for a second, Reggie Bush, whatever else like that. Like, it's always been kind of things like that. Okay, if OJ goes there, like...
Is OJ gonna want to go there? Like, is he gonna? I wonder how much he knows.
So you saw the OJ 30 for 30, right?
Yeah, I rewatched them.
Like, see, I only watch it once. I only watch it once. I can't do it more than that's so long.
30 for 30s. Like, I love them.
The only ones I'll rewatch 30 for 30 wise, I'll rewatch the U over and over and over again because that's my favorite one.
I remember. My old time favorite is the Fab Five.
The Fab Five one's really good.
Chris Webber. I'm literally in love with Chris Webber.
Yeah, the Fab Five one's really good. What other one was really good? Why can't I think of anyone? No, but they've done a lot of them. I still haven't watched the one about the XFL. I really want to watch that one.
Oh, yeah.
But no, all of them. The one they did about Vlade Divac, the one they did about Michael Jordan riding the bus, the one they did about
the one that they were gonna do about Sacramento.
That is the only one that they actually haven't done. That's funny in some ways.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
But yeah, no, like my thing was just like the way they portrayed it a little bit in the 30 for 30 was that like, okay, fine, whatever happened with OJ when he was a player, when he was famous doing the Naked Gun movies, when whatever may or may not have happened, in the mid 90s, like all of that happened or whatever. And then once he was just like, not guilty and got out, that's when he started being like kind of a reality star in his own right.
Yeah.
And then it kind of spiraled off of that. So.
But he's like low key old.
Well, it's not low key old. He played in the 70s. Like that's. Like that's not low key old. Like that's like you played in the 70s. You played before Walter Payton. Like yeah, that's not low key. That's just old. Like
But I don't know. Like, but I feel like because of all these shows, it's like it's re-sparked.
Oh, it 100%. Oh no, it 100% has like re-sparked all of that. Like it's
he's old, but not like he's like real relevant again.
Yeah.
Even to like our generation.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Who was like born around that time when all this was going down.
OJ's 69 years old, by the way. He'll be 70 when he gets out. If he gets out in October.
Wow, 70.
Yeah, he'll be 70 years old, which also is.
I just want him to just be graceful.
I feel like you haven't understood the entirety of OJ's career, if that's what you want from him.
That's what I'm saying. But you know what I mean?
Like once he basically got.
Because I don't want him to come out wild and.
Oh, he's gonna come out loud.
He's old.
No.
He's somebody's grandpa.
He is. Well, never mind.
I don't want him to be like.
Here's the thing, though. It could be one of two things, right? Because it could either be him finally like. Thank you for, releasing me, da-da-da-da. Like, I'm sorry for everything that's happened. Trying to do the whole, like,
Yeah.
What do you call it? I forget whatever the step of AA is where it's just like, apologizing to people. It could be that portion of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or he could get out because he probably knows all the 30 for 30s have been going on right now while he's in prison.
Yeah, but I don't think he watched them.
I'm not saying he watched them. I'm sure he knows about all the popularity that
Sure.
he's, garnered over the last year or so, right? Mm-hmm. So it could be a thing of just like, I'm sorry for everything that's happened. I just kind of want to live my life. He could be the guy that's kind of off there in the corner. Or he could be like, hey, everybody, come and see how good I look. Come here, everybody. TMZ. Like he would just like follow the paparazzi. They wouldn't follow him. He would just be like, he's like, TMZ, come here. You want a story? And they'd be like, all right.
I'm wondering.
Hey, it's one of two ways this can go with OJ.
I'm really curious to see what his public image is going to be when it comes out this time.
Right. And he's still
this time around.
We're going to have an odd fascination with him.
Yes.
Like it's going to be sort of a Michael Jackson-ish like fascination with him cuz
we can't just leave him alone.
Well, you can't leave him alone and people will both love him and hate him. Right?
Yeah, and then
for different reasons obviously, but like for Michael Jackson, obviously what he did in the 80s, 70s, all that stuff like that, even early 90s. Like, love Michael Jackson.
Allegedly.
Also, well, no. I'm saying, like, the music stuff.
Oh.
And then also, right, other things, which not
Allegedly.
The best. That's fine. There's both.
Michael to the day.
There's both. There's both sides. For OJ, it's just like, yeah, great athlete. Like, Hall of Fame running back, great college athlete, decent actor. All these good things. Also,
you think ESPN's
other things. Are they going to talk about it?
Well, no, they're definitely going to
talk about it. You do not understand how First Take works? I feel like you don't understand how First Take works.
But I'm saying, like, is he ever going to be, I don't know.
Is he ever going to be
accepted publicly?
No.
But we don't know. That's what I'm saying. People are really interested in him right now. And people are weird. The media is weird.
The mid-90s took that away. He's never going to be like someone who's like welcomed on ESPN as like a talking head that can come on and talk about stuff. Now, will he be talked about with the likes of Stephen A. and like all them?
Do you know?
Yeah.
Those ratings would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Think about it.
But
think about it.
I understand that part of it. Does ESPN care that much about 1 or 2 days of ratings? I'm not saying like
I don't know. I don't know.
For like no, don't get me wrong. That day,
if Kris Jenner gets involved, who knows what the world is going to do?
Okay, but you're selling your soul a little bit if you're doing that. Like ESPN, I understand the first word in ESPN.
She knows how to make a dollar.
I understand. I'll never take that away from 100%. She does. She's made that family into an empire, 100%. But at the same time, like, and I understand the first word for first letter in ESPN, the E is entertainment. Like, I get that part of it. Also, like, you're kind of selling your soul a little bit if you're doing that. Like,
that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if anybody is going to,
like,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm just wondering. Like, I'm not saying anybody is or isn't, but I'm.
Oh, don't get me wrong. E will 100%.
Oh, definitely
fall down this path because they are basically like, yeah, a Kardashian
but,
run.
You know, like,
yeah.
I'm wondering. I'm just.
See.
But is he even going to want it? Maybe he really is like. Okay,
he'll want to do it.
Do you think so?
He's been gone from the public spotlight for what, like 10, 15 years, ever since he got busted for that thing, right? It's been about a decade or so since that happened.
Like 7.
It's been 7 years?
I think so.
Something like that. Yeah. So it's been a minute since he's, been out in public
10,
or whatever.
Yeah.
And, I think he does probably want a little bit. I don't know how much of it, but I'm assuming once he gets out, he's going to want to do some, like, tours or whatever else like that to kind of capitalize on the fame he's got.
Mm-hmm.
It's not ESPN that...
Like the entertainment side.
No. I'm saying it's not ESPN that you're saying like, oh, well, ESPN want to basically have him on. It's not ESPN.
Somebody's going to want to have him on.
It's not ESPN that I think would do it. Because ESPN is already the king. They've been the king for a few, since the 80s. Like, they've been the king for a very long time.
I just want to follow up 30 for 30.
I understand, but
I do.
Do you not think Fox would want to do that? Fox as a whole, like just not Fox Sports 1, but just like Fox in general has never been shy from being the guys that are like, yeah, whatever, let's do it, let's go.
Okay.
And they want to win ratings so bad with ESPN, like they don't win the ratings, but they want to so badly. They could just be like, yeah, whatever, bring it on. Yeah, bring it, OJ. That'll be fun for a few days.
I wonder.
I think they would. I think Fox would. I don't think ESPN would because I think ESPN's at the point just like, whatever, but like I think Fox might.
It's just not foolish. Like when it, like.
You don't think OJ's going to be foolish?
Like I don't want to see him like on game shows.
Oh.
I don't want to see like
Like him like be on Family Feud.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
that's
I
kind of
don't wanna
awkward. But
see...
you can't have him on a show called Family Feud when he.
But you know what I
can't
mean?
have that.
Like, oh my god. But
I'm saying you get
no,
like
but
that.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't want him to be like I think I would be okay with seeing him on Dancing with the Stars. I would be okay with that. But other kind of like shows like that,
He can't.
No.
He can't do. He
no.
can't.
You know what I mean?
He can't. No, like that. You can't.
Okay, see, that's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing, like.
I don't want him to be like
There
a
is-
laughing stock, I guess is what I'm saying. Because
Well,
there's
I mean-
so much already that is OJ, like, you know, throughout.
So
1,
whatever's
2,
happened up to this point, like,
Right.
how much more are you going to tarnish the OJ name?
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's
On
not
his
be-
on his side too, like he might
let's
think
not
also
let our
like,
very last memory of you be so.
yeah, but even if that's the case, we're still going to remember the good parts of OJ, right? That's kind of what we do when you die. Like we remember.
But then some people really only know Jerry Rice from Dancing with the Stars.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like,
100%.
no, that's not Jerry. But you know,
But
like,
you'll
we don't think that. But
right. Okay, but pre.
like Michael Strahan, some people really.
Oh,
just know
100%
him
Strahan with
from-
that. No, okay, well, even something
Kelly.
like this.
Like he's not just
Okay, fine.
Kelly and Michael in the morning.
Okay, but pre-call it 2000
Michael and
and
Kelly. I don't remember if it was Kelly and Michael or Michael and Kelly.
I think it was Kelly and Michael.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Because he was there first before Strahan got there, so I think it was
Yeah.
Kelly and Michael.
I
Anyways,
think it's Kelly and Michael.
okay, so pre-call it 2007, 8, 9,
Okay.
whenever Keeping Up with the Kardashians started, whenever that whole show started, pre the first season of that, how many people knew who Bruce/Caitlyn Jenner was as an athlete before that? No one did. They knew him as the dude
Only
on
our
the show.
Parents. Only our parents.
Right. Like, I knew it because my parents told me about it, but I guarantee you there's people right now that if you told them, all right, Caitlyn Jenner, before, 40 years
I think
ago,
some people were surprised that literally one of the
that he was one of the greatest athletes ever. Like, period.
Yes, like,
one of the greatest
literally
athletes.
overall.
Yeah. Like, but now, like, you know him or her for, like, all this other stuff, right? Like,
Right.
you know the show, you knew.
The Jenner name from
that's
the
what,
show.
Right. And his daughters.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you knew. That's how you knew this whole thing became about. So, yeah, you're going to know people from what they do later on in life. That's fine. OJ is so famous for everything, man. Like, when he passes away, 10, 15, 20 years from now, whenever it is, like, his whole biography is going to be just so
Like, wow.
freaking long. Like, it's not going to be of just like, oh, yeah, he was a great football player.
He's had so many lives, if you think about it.
Yeah.
So many lives.
He was a really good player in college.
So many lives.
He was a really good player in the NFL. He had an acting career.
He's lived multiple lives for multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, only one, you hope to be a phenomenal college athlete.
So he was.
And then you hope to be a phenomenal professional athlete.
Right. He went from,
He
dirt
had
poor
so many
to
lives. The man.
phenomenal athlete, like, all the opportunities you want financially with that, to going into Hollywood and being famous in Hollywood,
He's had so many lives.
to alleged double murder, to stealing your own stuff and going to prison.
Man.
I mean,
Man.
also yes. To, a reality star before it was a reality star, when he was just on TMZ all the time doing that type of stuff.
Random
And
stuff.
now he's in prison, and now he's resurgently
many
got
lives.
another life. Yeah, he's had 5 different lives that he's.
And if he comes out at 70, he's still, like you said, 15, 20, who knows, 30.
Dude, the age doesn't matter at that
The way
part.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Betty
So
White
he
had
could
a
have
resurgent at 85.
another entire life.
Yeah, Betty White was resurgent at 84.
Yes.
She was all of a sudden vitalizing her career decades after the Golden
Another
Girls.
life.
That's not.
Yeah. A whole nother life.
Yeah.
So depending on when you were born depends on what OJ you know.
Pretty much.
'Cause
Yeah.
you could have.
Because my parents are
Everybody has a different. OJ.
Yeah. Because I didn't know he was a football star. Because when I was born in 89. So, when I was 6, 7 years old is when all this stuff started going on with OJ and everything else. So when I was 12, 13 years old, and I was like, okay, OJ Simpson. Oh, that guy, the guy that got accused of murder. Yeah, also a great football player. Wait, what?
Yeah.
I go, oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
apparently.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Only time will tell. We're getting ahead of ourselves, I guess. We gotta wait till October.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see. But they just released a picture of him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why kind of got me stuck on him again.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so with that, we're going to take it to the last break of the episode. When we come back, we have to wrap up on we have some baseball talk.
Mm-hmm.
So keep locked here. You're listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast.
Are you looking for the very best NFL and college football podcast? Then check out the GSMC Football Podcast. Get the latest football news both on and off the field. From the NFL Draft to trades to the rumor mill to the NFL Combines, they got you covered. That's GSMCpodcast.com/football-podcast. Get updates on college rivalries, game day insights, and much, much more. It's football talk the way you want it. This show eats, sleeps, and breathes football. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Golden State Media Concepts. I almost said baseball podcast.
You have no idea what podcast we're doing. You just want to say all the other ones. Health and wellness, all of them.
Hey, I have to do health and wellness in a minute on this show. But anyway, so we're going to be talking about, we're switching gears from OJ into baseball. That's why I almost said the baseball podcast.
Right.
This is the sports podcast where we talk about everything in the world of sports. And to wrap up this episode, we are going to be talking about the World Baseball Classic that just wrapped up last night. Number 8 USA. What is wrong with me today? I am just everywhere. So anyways.
You want to talk about OJ again?
I did. So in LA, this happened in LA. Wow. So fun.
Mm-hmm.
So much.
You have no idea what sport anything is.
So much.
What sport's the World Baseball Classic? What sport is that?
Athletics here in California,
She's
the
gonna
best
say athletics
state
the whole
in the
time.
world,
She's not gonna say a sport.
The West Coast, huh?
She's going to say athletics the whole time. She's not going to say
West
sports.
Coast, the best coast. So, USA defeated Puerto Rico last night in which I believe USA fashion. You know, we always got to win.
Sure.
8-0 last night. So, quite a game. Did you watch it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was watching it. It was a little bit close to start with, and then slowly it just got like 2-0, 3-0. It started just like a little bit more and more as it went along. And then I think there's a mercy rule in World Baseball Classic.
Wow.
So I think they were like getting close to that, you know, doing that right there.
Really? A mercy rule?
I mean, these games, while they're fun and everything else like that, they don't necessarily matter, right? I mean, in the sense of like it's not actually Major League Baseball. So, you know, there's no point in having a team win like 15-0. I mean, here's the thing. Let me ask you this, because I've had people talk about this. Let's say there was a mercy rule in Major League Baseball. Okay. Would you be a fan of that or opposed to that? Because I'm all about that. And it's not because, like, you know, everyone gets a trophy kind of thing. You know, just don't hurt their feelings, whatever. It has nothing to do with that.
Is it just more of ending and wrapping up?
Partly, yeah, with that too. But also, okay, so... You know, there's games where you win like 15-2, right? That'll happen throughout the season in baseball, stuff like that. You'll win games 5-2, you'll win games 15-2, whatever. That stuff happens.
Sure.
Baseball enough has a problem with like celebrating and everything else like that because if you celebrate the home run too much, you get thrown in the head, which seems like a weird way of celebrating a beef or squashing a beef, but like whatever. Baseball has a weird thing with that, you know, but don't you think it'd be fun, like, if you were a fan of the A's or if you were a fan of the Rangers or if you're a fan of the Yankees, whatever, like, whatever team you're a fan of, and let's say, like, you know, winning by 10 was a mercy rule, right? If you win 10-0, 12-2, whatever.
Okay.
If it was 11-2 in the bottom of the fifth, would you not be a fan of just like, okay, let's mercy rule them, let's mercy rule them? Like, you would get into it. You'd be like, all right, let's go, one more run. That's all we need is one more run. Like, you would get into that at a certain point if your team was up by 9 runs.
Right.
Like, I think that would be kind of a fun thing to do. And then you can just taunt the other team saying you basically mercied them. Like, I feel like it would be like a fun kind of thing to do. Like, I don't know what the number is, whether it's 10, 12, 15, whatever the number is. But I feel like you as a fan could get into it because baseball is so boring in that aspect of just like, okay, another game. We're going to win 5-4. Cool. Does that matter? No. But if you start making stakes of these whole things, and like I said, it's not like if like the mercy rule is 5 where you can come back, you know, with a grand slam and now all of a sudden you're only down 1. Like, if you make it like 10, 12 runs or whatever where it's just like clearly – this is not going to work. So, I mean, yeah, you could come back, but, you know, it's like a 0.1% chance of that happening. like if you have a chance of like mercy ruling somebody, and it's like, okay, let's mercy them. Like that'd be fun to like, have that feeling in the middle of July when you don't care about baseball because it's 25th game out of 28 nights, kind of thing, right? Like that would get you into a game. I feel like that'd be kind of fun.
Maybe in baseball.
That's the thing. Yeah, like I feel like it would be.
That's about it.
Yeah.
They talked about limiting earlier this week with women's basketball. With the NCAA, I talked about this a little bit. I think with Ben, because I just think that that's ridiculous. I think. Well,
they talk about this. So they talk about with the NFL. They were talking about limiting overtime to like 10 minutes. Also, the NFL is doing some really weird thing right now where they're going to have a video, basically saying what is and is not appropriate for celebrating.
Man,
which again,
get me started on that.
Which I explained last segment. My favorite 30 for 30 is the U. Go watch the U. They kind of were the inventors of like, you can't celebrate like that.
Shoving it in your face.
Yeah, you can't come out of the tunnel shooting fake pistols at somebody because they got really mad at that. You can't do the DX chop on somebody when you sack them. You can't, basically like taunt someone when you're standing over them.
Fun.
And I love all of that. I love all of that. So this whole like
adds to everybody loves all of that unless
you're
losing.
Well, clearly nobody loves all that because they're making rules basically saying like this is acceptable and this is not.
Exactly what these rules are about.
And it's going to be a video, by the way. So like, how bad is this video going to be?
And who
like,
is
this
the
is
actors in this video?
Well, because they're going to do the video.
This is acceptable. Douche. This is not acceptable. Douche.
Right. And like how are they going to structure it, right? Because it's going to be one of those things where it's
you have to watch it.
Like if you ever worked in a restaurant, you have to probably watch it. They probably have like these mandatory. Like if you ever worked in like a restaurant or something like that, where it's one of those things of just like proper hand washing is key when working in a restaurant. When you actually work in a restaurant, that's not actually how it goes. Like if you wash your hands a few times, congratulations to you. That's not exactly how it goes. But restaurants are hell. I mean, for lack of a better explanation, like don't ever do it. But like, they have these like instructional videos of just like, proper food, preparation, da. But it's like such a boring video. And like, I wonder if that's how they're going to do it or if they're going to try to make it like a little bit fun. And then they're just going to have someone like, they're going to have Antonio Brown twerking in the end zone and they just all of a sudden throw up a big X. Just like, no.
What the problem is with that.
I don't care about it. I really don't.
It's fun.
Like, here's the thing. Like, everything in moderation, including moderation, right? Like, that's kind of how I feel about most things. And
grown guys, like
that too. But like,
can't take a little bit of taunting.
That's the thing. Like, I don't care if you taunt. Now, at the same time, like, if you're Antonio Brown twerking in the end zone for a few seconds, cool, fine, have fun. I don't care about that. If you're doing a couple of things, your TO basically grabbing the pom-poms, celebrating with the cheerleaders, or grabbing the Sharpie and signing the football, I don't care about that. That's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Now, if you are a Key and Peele skit and you're doing all the stuff that they were doing after celebrating when it's like a choreographed, like 5-minute thing, okay, fine, that's probably too far. Okay, fine, I get that. Don't do that. Like, if you're literally having, like, fans coming out of the crowd so they can, like, celebrate with you, okay, fine, that's probably...
Okay, I can deal with, like, delaying the game.
Right.
Yeah.
That part's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I get, like, there's rules and there's limits, stuff like that.
Sure.
Fine. But, you give fans or you give players like a 10-second like freak out limit, right? Where it's basically like, you celebrated a touchdown, which is really hard to do. Let them celebrate for like 10, 15, 20 seconds, and then let them go. Mm-hmm. Whatever you do in that 20-second span, fine. Yeah. As long as you're not like throwing the football at another teammate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or
everybody off. Then I think it's fun.
That's fine.
And sometimes, like, even when, like, we're just doing stuff where, like, if I get, like, if you're a college kid or you're a high school kid and you're waiting for college acceptance letters, you can't help but, like, be like, bust a move because you're so excited because you got accepted into college.
Yeah.
Like, you can't help but have some display of elation when you just smack the heck out of someone and forced a fumble.
Yeah. Like, do you understand how hard it is to play in the NFL? Like, if I tried to play in the NFL tomorrow, I would die.
Yes.
Like, not even like a thing of just like, oh, no, you might. No, I would die.
Right.
Like, let me try and do a slant route coming up the middle against Luke Kuechly. I'm going to die. Like, he is literally going to, like, separate my head from my body, like death.
Yes.
And, like, if you get a touchdown in that sport, or if you get a safety in that sport, or a sack, or whatever, that's really hard to do. Yes. Have fun. Do you know the percentage of people in the world that have scored a touchdown? It's very small. It's very small.
Right. I think it's just too much.
I don't know. But that kind of, okay, so like bringing it back to baseball for a second, the World Baseball Classic, like they also like yell at you, oh, there's your boy on TV.
All right.
There he is. By the way, her boy is LeVar Ball. He's on First Take at this point because of course he is. That man goes to every single camp. And I don't even hate him for this. Like, do you? If you're helping out your own brand, you're helping out your son's brand, like, that's fine. Like, I'm totally good with it, everything else like that. And I don't take him seriously either.
Literally, Ball is life right now. For
100%. 100%.
Literally.
Like, I'm not even mad at him because, A, I don't take him seriously because he said he can beat Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley in a one-on-one game. And when they said,
the world will never know.
No.
The world will never know.
Well, no,
like you said earlier, somebody could just have a really bad off day.
Right.
He could just come.
No, but the way I've heard Michael Jordan play is in, like, let's say you actually do beat him one-on-one in a game of, like, horse or whatever because he's having a bad shooting day. He will keep playing you until he beats you. It could be the 35th time.
He's that little brother.
No, 100%. No,
stop.
that's like I've heard enough stories about Michael, and it's like, okay, so you beat him in like whatever you want to say, whether it was like horse or whether you beat him in a game of cards, like whatever it is, right? Let's say you beat him like 4 times in a row. He's there for that 5th time.
So is that being a sorry loser?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's Michael. That's what he does. Michael just basically wants to have the last, and then by the way, once he wins, then he's gone. Like he won the 10th game or whatever.
He's only gonna talk about that one win.
Right. He's like, I beat you. I beat you 9 times in a row. I beat you at the end. Like that's it. Like he only cares about the one at the end.
You're not clutch. And
right.
Right, bro.
Yeah, you're not clutch. I beat you in the final
it.
one. It's the final one because you walked away. I beat you in the final one. Like it's just one of those things where you're not going to win an argument with him. But with LeVar, like, okay, we keep going on different tangents, but whatever. So with LeVar Ball, he literally, when Barkley was like, yeah, fine. You know, I'll take you one-on-one right now. Like, you only averaged 2 points in college.
Man, Charles Barkley weighs like 500 pounds right now, though.
That's fine. He'll back him down.
Charles is huge
he is.
now.
He's a big boy. But he said, like, I'll take you one-on-one.
I'm sorry, Charles. Charles is, whatever. But
he said, I'll take you on. He said, I'll take you on now, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you only averaged 2 points in college. I'll take you on right now. And LeVar Ball, dead serious, was just like, yeah, they talk about my 2 points I averaged in college, but they didn't talk about what I did in JUCO.
Hey, talk about his JUCO. Ask about him. Max Preps. Look him up.
Charles Barkley played against Michael Jordan and Akeem and John Stockton and Karl Malone.
You got to be your biggest. He
is the biggest cheerleader.
If we can learn anything from LeVar Ball, it is
confidence. Confidence.
Don't let nobody tell you nothing.
Pretty much.
Don't let. So what? I averaged 2. There's plenty of us that never played college basketball.
Oh, I couldn't average 2 points in college. I couldn't average 2 points in college. No way in hell.
Yeah,
no.
That's difficult. There's a lot of guys on scholarship that don't.
Yeah, no, it would be terrible.
Hey.
Yeah.
They got scholarship. It's all relative.
Yeah, they got scholarship people over in Kentucky that are only there 4 years because they got to have the,
relative. I need practice squad.
Yeah, you need.
It's all relative.
You need your academics to get up because the other people only stay for 1 year.
Smack.
Dude, everything.
I'm here for the drama. I'm here for it. I'm here for it only because, like, hey, I mean, we can all. That's one takeaway. He's a dad that thinks, like, my dad thinks I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Sure. Yeah. Have confidence in your kids.
And his sons legitly are right now.
He's
the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Now, don't get me wrong.
So
he is going to say something stupid soon enough, right? Like, he's already said something stupid or whatever, but he's going to say something, like, inflammatory, and it's just like, okay, now you got to go.
So inflammatory.
Like, he's going to say something at one point where it's like, oh, no. Okay, you got to get off the screen now. And he's kind of like nudge him away.
Just, okay, come with me. We need to go back in my lawn.
Yeah, he just says something. It's like, all right, LaValle, come here. Mr. Ball.
I need to go walk my sloth.
We need to go away now. We need to get off the screen. What I was just talking about. I know. You need to go.
Hey, But with that, we're going to wrap it up.
Yes.
Are you ready to wrap it up?
Yes, I'm ready to wrap it up.
I'm ready to wrap it up. I need to go eat. I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. I haven't eaten in a while.
So with that, we're going to wrap it up. This has been the GSMC Sports Podcast. I'm your favorite, Pauline.
And I'm Anthony. I don't know if I'm your second favorite, but whatever. That's fine.
You're my second favorite.
Yeah.
Besides myself. LeVar Ball.
Right.
I'm the greatest of all time. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. We will talk to you guys next time.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Podcast. Part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.